Kate from Generate Magic, and today I want to talk about this notion of holding back. And holding back maybe out of the fear that you'll use up all the good stuff and then you won't have anything left. And so as a writer, this is definitely something that I can relate to, like whether I'm working on fiction and writing a scene for my novel, or whether I'm writing, like, let's say, a blog post, I sometimes find myself holding back. And part of it is kind of holding back out of this fear that maybe I'll use up all the good stuff, right? Maybe all the stuff that's the fun, juicy stuff that I've really been looking forward to writing, and then I'll just run out of interesting things to write about. And then I'll be really bored when I'm writing in the future. Or I'll just kind of use up all the ideas that I have, and then my readers will be really bored. And but I realize that how illogical this fear really is, because I find the more good stuff that I pour into every single scene, right? The more I pour myself into every single thing that I write, and just everything that I do in general. I find that it's an iterative process, meaning that it's once you kind of turn on the spigot, right, it just opens the floodgates, and all of a sudden creativity and inspiration and new ideas, they just start flowing. And after a while, there's nothing I need to even do to get it to come. It just comes. And so, it's just kind of like a waterfall, once you turn it on and once you tap into it. And to me, I see it as really kind of tapping into this divine force, right? And it's like this divine dance, right? And it's like you give some, and then it gives back to you tenfold, is really what I found. And there's a really good quote from Dillard, and that's on this notion of holding back. And I might misquote it slightly because I'm just saying it from memory, but I will post it, the correct version below. But she says, don't feel like you have to save your good stuff for later. And she's a writer, so obviously she's referring to writing, but she's also, referring to life as well. And so she says, don't hold back from your students, don't hold back from giving to the poor. She says, because if you just hold back, it's just going to turn to ashes. And I think that is such a good perspective, right? And because the only thing that we really know, and we love to speculate, right? We love to speculate on the future. And but the only thing we really know for sure is that we don't really know when our time here on this earthly plane is going to end. We don't know when it's going to end. And obviously, I truly believe that there's going to be more iterations after this one, right? More incarnations after this one, that this isn't our only shot. But at the same time, just having this belief in mind really fuels me. It's actually, some people might see it as depressing, but I actually find it very inspiring, because I really kind of see, instead of just putting everything off until, or anything off until tomorrow, it's just like, give every moment your all, give every day your best shot, and just really pour yourself in to everything. And I don't waste any energy anymore into this kind of scarcity or survival mindset, or trying to prepare for the worst. None of that. Like, instead, just pouring all of myself into each moment, because I don't know, what's going to happen tomorrow, or a minute, or an hour from now. And it's just a very good feeling. And it's a very, again, the more you give, it really does, like, give back to you tenfold, whether it's through your creations, artistic creations, or whether it's just giving to others in whatever capacity. And there's also this notion, I'm an entrepreneur, and as I'm sure many of you are, and there's all this, I think there's definitely kind of a lot of scarcity mentality operating in the field of entrepreneurship, right? This whole idea of, like, competition. And I've sometimes heard the idea put out there that you shouldn't give all your best stuff away, basically. And to me, that just is bullshit, to put put it kindly, but even from a logical standpoint, it doesn't make sense because I look out in my world and I see all these creators who are just really, coaches and people who are YouTubers, but also coaches who are really just kind of giving it their all and pouring their all into everything that they put out, and their business is booming. Their business is off the chart because the more you give, basically, the more people want. And no amount. Of course, we can always get information, right? But information can never replace personal interaction, right? And there's always going to be questions that somebody might have, or a specific, situation that somebody has that they really want kind of fleshed out, that they can't just get from watching a video, for instance, or attending a free webinar. But even more than that, the more you give, the more of you people want. And so, yeah, so it's really nice, actually, the way that it works. And it's very generative. And yeah, I was talking to another writer friend of mine who's also been like a mentor to me about this very concept. And she was saying that, yeah, it really is, sometimes as writers we can fall into this mindset, but she says really the imagination, it's a generative force, and that's the whole purpose of the imagination, right? Is that it just keeps creating, it just keeps generating, hence, and generate magic. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.